Hello and welcome back to the Pickle Clique podcast. This is Jesper speaking, and before we start, there are some things I would like to just quickly mention. First and foremost, some of the info in our last episode concerning, among others, depression was wrong. This was pointed out to me in private, and I feel the need to correct myself and us on that really quickly and acknowledging our mistake. Second of all, as you might have noticed, we were gone for quite a while. This is because planning and execution of a podcast episode is extremely difficult over the internet, and there weren't many chances for us to do it in person because of several corona restrictions. Last but not least, Morty sadly couldn't join us today, so I was instead joined by 3 guests, which later changed to 2 instead. But I won't steal more of your time. Here's the 5th Pickle Clique podcast episode, as promised.
My name is Hello and welcome back to a new podcast. I'm your host, Keller Keemstar.
Let me do
We are okay. Lukas. Bro. First on the topic, how many little children, 4th graders, could you take on at a time? Yes, bro, what do you think?
What?
How many?
Let's say 10.
10, Lukas?
Well, 4th graders are basically 3rd graders, which is my little brother, and my little brother is
Which are basically 2nd graders, which are basically 1st graders, is what you're getting at here.
So I could
Basically,
depends.
Yeah.
What are you allowed to do to them?
And you can use your bare hands, they can only come at you with your bare hands, just take on of them. How many can you take on?
Wait, and how do you
You see what I would do is I got this from Family Guy actually. I'd walk up into a bathroom and I'd let them just come at me one by one, single file line they open me and I'd go bow, 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 bow. So basically I could take on like 99.
Well, if you're allowed to hit them,
Credit to Family Guy.
if you're allowed to hit them in the head, a very hard hit to the head destabilizes anyone for a short moment at a time. So just hit one at a time. Boom, boom.
But they'll surround you.
This round you just
You
get
can't
into
you
a
can't
corner
hit them
like
fast enough. Get into a corner, but then they.
use one as a shield, the other one as a sword, and smack him.
I think that's a fair assumption.
Okay, sorry. Hi guys, welcome back to the Pickle Clique podcast. This is episode number 5. Today we are missing an important piece, Morty, and as we are missing that important piece, I am incomplete, and hence the structure of this podcast will be spiraling down into oblivion. Our guests today
Just like my mental health.
No. Our guests today are Kees,
Hi.
Bronche, and Lukas. Lukas.
Bro, I'm KSI.
You're not KSI.
I have a bandana though. Let's talk about bandanas.
Let's talk about bandanas, okay.
Yeah, what's up with the bandanas? Because I feel like a lot of people wear them, and like they look good for some people, but there's so many people out there who wear them, and they just look so stupid with
Like
them. Like Lucas, you look good with them, but then there are other people, and I'm not gonna call out names, but they use bandanas as like every now and then it just goes cute with my outfit,
Mm-hmm.
and like for some people, sure. For some people, sure it works, but like for a lot of people, it's just like no one asked you to wear a bandana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, why would you wear them? I don't know. I just think it's.
I wear bandanas sometimes.
I mean, it's good we're in the Netherlands, because if we were in the USA, you can't wear no red bandanas, you can't wear no blue bandanas, you can't wear no, in Chicago, you can't wear no black bandana.
Well, you see, in this podcast, we've already made sure that we all know that the US is just not a good country. We've already discussed like.
But there's some good people there.
Some good people.
But
Here's a picture of me with my bandana.
That bandana is
Look,
iconic.
Kees.
Alright, okay, that works.
Yeah,
Now wear, bro.
it's a very nice bandana.
Also, I should probably take out that. Yeah, bandanas. But how would you wear a bandana? Like a bandana around your head, under your hair, or over your hair?
I would wear it like this.
Yeah, okay. For Jesper, it's around his hair. For Kees, he's an extremely white boy. It won't work with him. Like, look at your bowl cut. I don't know. You blonde or you brown, boy?
I'm blonde.
No, you brown.
I'm
You
blonde.
Brown.
I'm blonde, but when
Why is it brown there?
when my dad was my age, he turned brunette. So
Brunette.
maybe I'm like brown. So
Yeah,
maybe my hair is gonna turn brown.
But it all beats being ginger.
What?
What?
No, that's just
Wait.
like that's the thing with gingers. And honestly, same with Russians. Like
What?
either they're either
Wait,
What?
we talked about hair color and now you pull up the
no,
nationality?
because they're either super hot or ugly as people. Am I wrong?
Who are you?
Have you ever seen a middle ginger, or have you ever seen a middle Russian?
What?
What?
Have you? Like, if you'd rate a ginger on personality scale, would you be a 0 or a 10, right?
I have never in my life. I had never in my life rated people.
Okay, right. Well,
I rate Kees.
you're a loyal boyfriend, but
Case. You're 25 out of 10.
are you talking about my penis size?
No. This is the one episode where you really see what teenage boys think about. The other ones were just pretentious, both me and Morty.
Teenage boy, you're literally an adult in like a few 4 more. I was still 15 like a month ago.
Yeah, I am.
Anyways, yeah. So what I was saying is like it's either like like 10 or 0 pretty much. I just think that's pretty interesting.
Okay.
No.
Well,
He's
what
been
Lucas
looking-
brought up, I'm voting next year, so
You are?
yeah, y'all can watch the Netherlands just go down.
I mean, I think that's something that we as Bandanas can be pretty proud of. For 8 years on, I hope for like another 12. We've had a president that's actually responsible, and even though not everyone agrees with him, everyone knows that he's a good person. Like Margaret is such a he has worked his ass off for like 8 years, and he's done an incredible job.
Yeah.
And like it's the same that America had with like Trump. I mean with Obama, like some people just didn't like Obama's views, but everyone had a general sense of respect for Obama. After his presidency, there's no one who really felt like betrayed with Obama in power, which is obviously the case now with Trump. And I think that's something that like is so it's so sad how rare that is right now.
Wait, did you put in the right? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's so depressing that that I'm proud of the fact that that the Netherlands had a good president for the past 8 years. Like, isn't that depressing?
Is it
Slightly.
not?
That you like look at your TV and like, damn, that's a good guy right there, you know?
I
He's
mean,
not a prime
yeah,
minister.
but I
Prime
would.
Minister, my bad.
I feel a bit. I mean, I feel proud of that. I mean, in Sweden, like the last couple of prime ministers have just been,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I've lived
not
in
very
I've lived in
useful.
South Africa, and there it's just corruption after corruption.
It is what it is.
It's terrible.
Well, you know, Sweden is usually seen as one like a really good country, but it's actually not.
No.
Just saying, the prime ministers as well. They've been so annoying.
What they do?
What they do, nothing. Mark Rutte has done something at least in his life.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made like legit changes and stuff.
But the way that Corona is being
Handled.
handled is quite questionable here.
Yeah.
Nederland over alles.
Especially, okay, so you know how the Minister of Justice,
Yeah.
he was having a marriage, right?
Yeah.
And at the marriage, he was shaking hands, you know, taking group pictures with people during the COVID crisis without wearing a mask, without keeping 1.5 distance, right? These
Yeah.
pictures got leaked, and the only thing that the minister did was say sorry and pay a fine, for like $200. I feel like being part of the Ministry of Justice, I feel like you should give up your place because you've literally broken the law in a time where like obeying the law is the most important time, literally in like the whole decade, maybe the century even. Because such a crisis can literally ruin a country if no one obeys the law.
True.
Exactly, and he's like, I mean, he's one of the leading figures.
He's
in
one
the
of the
country.
leading figures, exactly. So as a responsible person, he should like give up his position.
Yeah,
I think it's insane that he's still there.
and that he only paid a fine and like.
That he only paid a
sorry.
fine. Yeah, I think that's for sure.
It's absurd. Didn't they also lie about the numbers for a while?
Netherlands.
Yeah, I think they did.
I doubt they did.
No, I think they did because
I know that Iran.
they
did.
were talking. Well, it's not like the information was completely hidden. You know, you can always find the amount of cases and stuff. It's just that most people get their news from the papers or like from the government. Especially now with Corona, they get most of the news from the government because the government are the people in charge. And they were saying, oh, there's so many new cases each day, but it was actually so much less than what they were saying. Like almost. I don't know. I might have heard it wrong.
Yeah, I know that
Probably.
in Iran that they withheld a lot of information about the killing.
Can I have a computer charger, please?
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, okay, I have okay.
Here you go, Mr. Sir.
Alright, thank you. I only need this part.
I know. I just think it's kind of concerning about the fact that we have to like start dealing with these problems that we have not created. when
Why are you making knots in the table?
when we like turned into adults. But so if you had to vote for the would you vote for you'd vote for Biden, I assume, right? You'd vote for Biden, right?
I'd rather vote blank, to be honest.
Vote blank.
Yeah, in both, in like the last election and this election, because I feel like both. Well, no, actually, I think I'd vote Biden. I don't know, but most likely I'd try to find a third party actually, because I don't agree with either one of them.
A third party never wins.
But I feel like
No, of course, but I don't want to
Yeah.
add up to the scandals that Democrats and Republicans are putting up all the time.
Yep.
I mean, there's.
I feel like the whole idea of just two parties, it's kind of absurd.
Yeah, it doesn't
'Cause
work.
You create division, and the thing that's happening in the Netherlands is like two parties who like you have like 8 parties, right? Like two parties may have similar views but different, but they still kind of unite because they still have the same general idea.
Yeah, if you just have two parties, it's also not exactly democratical because it's just two sides.
One has power.
No, it's just two sides of the spectrum, right?
Yeah, true.
And so, if you believe in some ideas of the right side, like me, for example, I believe in some ideas of the right side, and I'm usually considered more right wing or like central, but more like right-ish. But then again, there's like stuff I agree with on the left side, like gun control or like pro-life, pro-choice, or that kind of stuff. I agree with completely because obviously they make sense
to you. I mean, I agree with you.
Oh yeah, they make sense,
obvious
of course. It's obvious to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like if there's just two-party system, it's more of a like, well, I mean, I agree mostly with these guys, but then there's stuff that I don't agree with them at all.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more parties you have, the more
Diverse. Accurate.
Yeah, but once again, you shouldn't have 100 parties in your government.
Yeah.
Like that would get a bit messy.
Yeah. Change would be impossible.
Hmm?
Change would be impossible to make them. Yeah.
Yeah, because it'd just be opposing everyone. So I feel like what the Netherlands has and Sweden kind of has. I mean, it works.
Right.
Sweden has like 349 seats though, in their thing. The Netherlands has like 149, right?
I think 150.
150, yeah. Sweden has 349.
Oh shit.
And like, there's like just problems in Sweden which go down to like the bottom, the main issue. Yeah, the core issue is just the fact that I don't know, is too many people with high paid jobs, like too many bosses or like stuff, coordinators or whatever. Like a group of, instead of like here, for example, one person is responsible for like 8 people or more. In Sweden, it's like 2 people are responsible for 4 people. Like there's a lot of people who don't need to have a leading position and get like as much money as they do. There's a bunch of corruption in Sweden as well, and like scandals and stuff. Sweden doesn't work economically that well.
No.
I mean, yeah, it's better than other countries, but following Western standards, I mean, look at Germany, look at the Netherlands, look at Belgium. I usually say those 3 countries because those 3 countries are the ones that are the most on track, I'd say.
Is Belgium?
Belgium, yeah, I don't hear. That's the thing. I don't hear much about Belgium. I don't hear much about Germany. I don't hear much about the Netherlands.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Then that leads me to believe that those 3 are doing pretty well, politically and economically speaking, at least.
Have you heard about there was a video about that a lot of people, they believe that Corona's fake, or not even Corona's fake, but just that the government is cheating, not cheating, but like betraying the people because they are pretty much, they believe that they're like messing up the entire like country because of Corona. Because there's like it's insane. But there's a genuine group of people online with I think like 50,000 Dutch people who like follow this like Facebook page, this like YouTube accounts, and they go on like how like the politicians are like are pedophiles, and how they have like capture like small children and pretty much rape them. It's a genuine following, and like it's I find these people. But
isn't it kind of true though?
What? What do you mean, kind of true though?
That was a joke.
Wait. Which government are we talking about?
The Dutch.
Oh, not the Dutch, but the American one though.
There are
they don't.
For instance, in the Hague, in front of the government building, there are a lot of people who protest, like when, for instance, like the president now needs like security when he walks in, because there are just people in front of the doors protesting, saying that, like, child murder and like pedophile and that kind of stuff. And I just think it's insane how little trust people have in the government.
I feel like, what I feel like is that Mark Rutte is so much more relatable than leaders in other countries, to me at least.
Yeah.
I'm not even a grown up yet, but for example, I mean, he makes minor mistakes. With the first lockdown, when they made that announcement,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, don't shake hands, don't stuff.
Yeah,
And then
and then
after the thing,
he
he
yeah.
shakes hands. I mean, he forgot.
He's human too.
Yeah, he's human. He feels more human than, for example, Trump with his golden toilets and whatever.
Yeah.
And just the fact that he makes mistakes.
And just the fact that he's a rational man.
Yeah, and then it feels like, just being accused of that kind of stuff is unnecessary, and like,
Right.
how can you come to that conclusion?
He's a rational man. Like he
Hola,
he just stays like he, like, for instance, when one of the press conferences, there was a reporter who started asking him, like, like, just like pretty much trick questions, like leading him into this grave, and it's just incredible to see how he just stays calm and just repeats the same thing, but like which he should. And just like doesn't like get made a fool out of himself. Like, he can just take care of himself, and he can take care of others.
I mean, before now, I guess I hadn't heard about that whole thing with the security and the group outside of the government building and everything. But I know that before that he biked to work. Right?
Yeah.
He would bike. I feel so like that
Yeah.
he's not sitting in some convoy with
Yeah,
cars
exactly.
getting to work. He's just biking to work.
And that's the sad thing, that he just can't do that anymore, because like it's just dangerous for him.
And I feel so like, why? It's
And
just he's just a man.
And then you have people like Thierry Baudet and Geert Wilders,
Yeah.
and they feed of in Dutch they're called complot thinkers, conspiracy thinkers, the translation. They feed of them, and they start standing, for instance, like in front of the building, and be like, I'm very proud of you guys for standing here. Like, I believe that you guys have a very important voice, and and they just start picking sides with the conspiracy theories, because it's like, because Thierry Baudet is extreme right, and it's kind of like comparable to Trump in America. Like, they feed off the craziest ideas to get followers. And that's also the thing about Trump, that Trump, he knows what he's doing. Like, he knows that, like, I don't know if he genuinely believes in what he says, but he knows he's getting the votes that way. And he knows, like, for instance, that America would get like destroyed by Corona, but he just continues on the attack and says that everything will be fine. He just says what he wants the
Yeah,
facts to be.
he doesn't want to be wrong, I think.
Exactly, but he knows when he is wrong. Because you can see in one of his early interviews, someone asked him, like, as a businessman, you're quite egotistic, and he was like, yeah, I know I'm egotistic, but that's the only way you're gonna make it as a businessman. So I'm putting this up so I can make it. So I think he's not pretty, but he has some decent self-reflection, but he's doing this on purpose just to get the following, which he does.
Yeah.
And in some weird way, I don't know, I kind of respect him for that he just got that following. Obviously, I think he's a terrible man. He should get out of the office.
I mean, yeah, we talked about this on an earlier podcast too. That we think that, like, he's not fit to be a president, but the fact that he did get to this position from just a businessman, like not even a politician or anything. I mean, he's a good like a speech person.
Yeah, exactly.
He's good at rallying people behind him.
Yeah.
Wish that could have gone to someone who would actually do something useful with it too. But
Yeah.
What I said, like, low key, a bit of respect at least for what he did, because that he did something like which no one expected. And I feel, but that's the thing. I feel like he doesn't want to acknowledge when he's wrong, and he doesn't like want to be wrong and like that kind of stuff. And I feel like Rutte. I mean, I haven't really seen much about Dutch politics because I lived so much in Sweden. But I feel like he's more okay with saying, okay, I was wrong, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that gives him like more respect. And also the thing that he biked to work, it just makes him so much more human. And
Yeah.
I feel like, also living in your workplace, this is also just something about America in general, but like living in your workplace, is that really like enjoyable? Living in the White House, working there every day, like 4 years.
I feel like that would. But I feel like the fact that you're in the White House itself, like, obviously not for Trump, because Trump can literally live wherever he wants to. But I feel like living in the White House, it takes away the pain of living where you work. Because I don't know, I think
I don't know. I'm not a
Isn't it
president.
heavily guarded though, like.
Yeah.
It's really heavily guarded. It's
Yeah.
where the president lives. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I am very sure that if someone were to attack the White House, they'd sacrifice how many people they could just to save that one person, the president. Which also doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I also feel a bit happier that Rutte doesn't have like extensive bodyguards.
But he doesn't need it. But the thing is, the president doesn't need it. In my opinion, I feel like that there should be, no matter who the president is, there should be an insane amount of bodyguards, depending on the risk level. And Trump's risk level is pretty high.
Yeah.
So I feel like you should get the bodyguards. And even though, like, obviously, I don't think people should die to save Trump, but he stays the president. And my opinion on that shouldn't matter because he's the president. He is technically speaking what the people wanted.
He is the icon of the American people at the moment.
And he's the representation of the American people. So he should stay alive at all costs. Since if he dies, then like there's like first of all, like it could break down the American system, and he's like it's no one's opinion to say that he should stay alive because he's president. He got elected. He should be treated that way, whether you agree with him or not.
But also, if someone would just not come at your life just like that if you were not doing something, like if you were not hated, if there were no hate on you, nobody will come for you.
Right, but it's impossible not to get hate when you're in such a big position.
Yeah, that's true. Talking about big position also, y'all heard what Macron said
No.
from the recent things that going on in France.
Oh
What did
yeah,
he say?
he called out.
So basically, no,
Do you have lollipops?
Now Kees is giving candy to strangers.
he's the candy
Oh, I'm
dealer.
not a stranger.
Kees is the candy man.
We need to keep some for the others from grade 6. We didn't get them yet.
Kids, you want candy?
It's Kees.
Well, to summarize the whole situation in France right now, on the Friday, the 16th of October, a teacher was beheaded in.
Oh yeah, that thing. I read about that.
Yeah, in the
You wanna say- yeah.
in the outskirts of Paris.
Yeah, because what was it? He showed a picture of
Because,
Depiction
Muhammad.
of
A depiction, a caricature of the Prophet Muhammad from the Quran.
Yeah.
And
the Quran.
in the Quran, you cannot draw or represent anyone from the Quran into like a picture. And these pictures were made by the already infamous Charlie Hebdo, who were attacked back in 2015 for doing the exact same thing. So this beheading, the beheading was way too violent, but I still do not. But the way that Macron responded to it, saying that they will not renounce the caricatures, it like spreading hate all over Islam, because you will
Well-
say you don't care about their religion. You say that.
No,
I
that's
feel
not
like-
true. I don't feel like that's true because part of a democracy is freedom of speech, and of
Freedom
course,
of speech. Then
yes, I know, but offending someone is not freedom of speech. I know that.
No,
I'm
it's not
just
about
gonna
that.
say
He says he's teaching about like the teacher was teaching freedom
Yeah,
of speech,
it was
but then goes ahead and arrests Frisco Leon for his lyrics in his song. What's up with that?
Oh,
Wait,
but that's
arrest who?
okay. Then that's wrong. But that's something else.
Arrest who?
Frisco Leon, he's a French rapper who got arrested because by the French authorities
Why?
because of lyrics in his songs.
What were the lyrics?
The lyrics are, he makes some very very dark lyrics. If you want an extract, I'll give you an extract of his song right now.
Oh, but anyway,
No,
but I
just
feel
tell me the lyrics
Like,
in
for
the-
example, one is j'arrive dans le rap, je comme un vol
in
commercial.
English.
and
In
yeah.
English, bro.
He
I
doesn't
thought-
speak French.
If I translate one of his lyrics is I came into the rap game like a hijacked plane to come in and hit your towers, saying that he came in the rap game with his new hit
It's
album,
intentionally kill or something.
not intentionally kill, but to hit the high numbers of other artists. But then
Yeah,
you
9/11
also
reference.
you definitely see the 9/11 reference.
Yeah,
But
but
he was arrested for that. But then, and that was not, and that's not freedom of speech.
was he arrested for that?
Yeah, he was
Then
arrested.
that's
also
that doesn't
for-
make. But if he made claims about doing something,
not claim.
No,
just is very very like hard metaphors. Like he says, I came in hard like Hitler in the 1930s.
okay, well if he was arrested for that, that doesn't make any sense.
No,
and
but
that's
I
on the
don't
French
think
authorities. but
technically he can't get arrested for that.
that
But
he
he did.
can't get arrested for that. That makes. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to, and this is something because I mean, if you look at other religions too, prophets, people in the religion, important people in the religion are always med fun of. If you look at pop culture, how many times has Jesus been made fun of? Or
But that's
like-
because Jesus was made into they painted and drew him since after he died.
He has been charged with voluntary manslaughter.
But he ain't killed nobody.
How would you know that?
Who are you talking about?
The Guardian. So according to the Guardian.
This is MHD. He was. That's a different guy.
Okay, then who are you talking about?
He's called Leon.
How do I spell
MHD
this?
one. Yeah.
How do I spell this name?
Freeze.
Freeze.
Call Leon. Bro,
But what I mean-
actually killed somebody. That's why he went to jail.
what I mean is that just
It's because he made a bunch of anti-Semitic.
yeah.
So
but that's something
that's-
else. But
that-
that's still like iffy if he can or cannot be arrested for that.
Yeah, but they.
We don't know much about laws anyway, so let's not go into that. But when it comes to speaking, of course, don't offend anyone.
Yeah. Don't
that
offend
makes
nobody.
sense. But as the moment that you do anything that is somehow changing the image of a religion in any way, even if it's just individual, right? If you, for example, if I would draw a cartoon of, you know how much backlash there was over Jesus being gay, that show on Netflix or whatever, that there was going to be a show about Jesus being gay. There was so much backlash about it because Christians were like, no, Jesus wasn't gay. And there's always going to be hate, but that should not stop you from what you're doing. And I feel like I feel like when you draw the Prophet Muhammad like this, it is okay to get angry about it, of course, because certainly people will get angry about it.
It's blasphemy, bro.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It feels a bit double-sided that it's made like that people make fun of other cultures, but that you cannot make fun of one culture.
No,
I feel like
like-
if you want to be a part of the society, if you want to be part of a people, then
Well-
you have to accept being. I mean,
But it wasn't that like one culture makes fun of others and then just tell that same culture to not make fun of them. That like it's they were just minding their own business and then they just don't do that. What did they do? Huh?
The thing
what
is,
are you? Wait,
the
who?
thing is-
Who? What? Who are you talking for right now?
Okay, so in it, like say Muslim, they don't want the caricatures of the Prophet Muhammad. Okay, but who did they bother? Tell me.
Nothing, but I feel like.
Wait, what do you mean?
I feel like you can't, because someone has a problem with something doesn't mean you can't do it. I feel like it obviously it's situational, but like if you want to show like a depiction of the Prophet Muhammad, you can do it
But you not no.
at your own risk. But I feel like if someone has a a religious sensitivity towards that, and then that can't be like it's still illegal to break the law over that.
Break the law.
Yeah, killing someone.
Yes, killing someone is against
yeah,
the
yeah,
law.
the
bombing
beheading-
a building is against the law.
The law-
No, the beheading is from extremists, not the
law-
beheading.
the
Those
law-
are all extremists. These
We're
are,
not saying all Muslims did this,
Yeah,
of
no,
course.
I know, but
what I want to come down to is that the fact that in 2015, when they hit the building of them, you know, that I felt like that was like a horrible thing. Of course, it's not because they're French white people and oh no, they were attacked by the horrible Muslims. That's not what I feel like. I feel like it's this slightly infringes on the freedom of speech because now people are scared of saying something, of making a joke of something, which technically speaking is allowed within constitutional rights of almost all democratic countries. But the fact that a teacher shows a picture of this and gets beheaded for that's a whole other issue.
Yeah,
if
okay,
he would have drawn
you're not supposed to kill nobody.
if he was our teacher who would have drawn it, it would have been a whole other thing for me. But he was just a teacher showing a depiction of a character. He was not in any way.
But
He asked Muslim. I read about
to
it.
go out of the room, but he said
He didn't say like. He didn't even say like that. He was like, if you are a Muslim, would you want to leave the room? Because I've shown this before and I've gotten people angry about it. I'm going to show a depiction. He warned people of it.
Yeah,
I'm going to show a depiction of the Prophet Muhammad, and it's going to be offensive. If you want to leave, please do. That's what he said. And yet, he showed one picture or whatever it was, and then he gets beheaded. I mean, like, of course, this is extreme. This is an extremist action. It's not like every time someone makes fun of a Christian, they get shot. Of course, I mean, Christians make fun of Christians. It's just the extremists that do weird stuff.
Yeah, it's not,
And that should not speak for everything. But the fact that there is that's like not allowed, but to some extent, you know, if I don't know how to put it, because it's really hard to put my what I'm thinking into words. But I just feel like when someone is making fun of then let's say the cis norm, a white straight man, all right, when someone's making fun of that, it's fine. A white straight Christian man, it's all fine. But if someone were to make fun of a gay person, a black person, you know, in a lot of cases, it's there's a big overreaction of like, this is horrible. Of course, there is a history of like of oppression towards these people, and that's why it's more sensitive. But to be part of a people, to get all to like live the same life as everyone else, which I mean is the end goal of everyone trying to do integration. You also need to be ready for like jokes to happen.
Jokes to happen, but like, I do agree. Like, if you just treat others like how you want to treat you, but like,
be respectful.
Yeah, be
Don't
respectful. But
have
like,
a line,
just
a
one
reasonable
question.
line.
But also,
Wait, how do you disrespect a white man? Like, how can I?
But it's also just having flexibility. Having flexibility that, for instance, obviously, if I like go around just showing a depiction of Muhammad, I can expect for people to literally hate on me for that one. However, if I literally warn people about the fact that, can you give me 1 second? If I literally warn people about the fact that I am going to show the depiction and let them leave the room and say it's going to be offensive, and especially not endorse it, then I feel like I should not expect anyone to beat me up or anyone to behead me. And also going back to the lyrics from Friedland, the lyrics were I'm a young Adolf in the 30s. I'm gonna hit. I have a great intention like young Adolf did. He is anti-Semitic and he is a Holocaust denier.
Holocaust denier.
Denier. He believes that the Holocaust did not happen.
Where the fuck he said that?
I think it was here.
Which song?
Here. Fries Cologne is a Holocaust denier. His lyrics is, I arrived determined like Adolf in the 30s, built an empire like young Adolf, determined with great ambitions like young Adolf. I feel like if you spit out those lyrics, then yeah, you can be expected to.
You
get
can't
arrested.
be expected, but
'Cause
why?
that is-
But why would one be a free speech and not the other?
Because in
Just
this
do it.
case,
Both are wrong.
In this case, you're justifying the Holocaust.
Both are wrong.
Yeah, they're both wrong, but to a certain extent, the other one is less wrong. Because in this case, he's justifying whatever happened in Nazi Germany, and in the other guy is just showing what happened. It's like this guy freedom of speech showing how Jews got killed, which is fine because technically you're allowed to show that, and if you're not, because he doesn't endorse it though. That's the thing. This guy endorses it. This guy endorses Nazi Germany. He said great ambitions like young Adolf. That he endorses it. The history professor just showed it. He said it would be offensive and he allowed people to leave the room.
Yeah, there is a slight difference for the two. But we've been going on for about 30 minutes, just slightly more. So we're gonna end this podcast. But it was nice having you here, Lucas. Kees is out for now, but I'm gonna say bye.
See, that was deep, bro.
Also, I like this discussion. It was interesting.
It was interesting, but like that's a controversial thing, man.
It's really controversial. That's why I was trying to be careful with what I said, because I know that like not everything is fine.
But yeah, you need to like when you edit in there, just make sure, just in case if you feel like something is not gonna go well, just take it out.
I mean, in the end, we're just teens trying to make sense of what's happening in the world. There's not much we can do, and it like this podcast. The goal for me is to spread what I think.
For what?
He's I'm gonna get in trouble. Anyways, thank you for listening to this podcast. Can I get
But but what is wrong is wrong. Just
yeah, we've moved on. We've moved on. Right?
What is wrong? None of us agree with what both.
Yes, Lucas. Okay. See here. I agree with you. We shook hands, people. We shook hands.
How can we prove that?
How can you prove here?
Guys, don't forget to sponsor us on Patreon. I'd like to thank out the sponsor
There
for
we go.
£8, $50 off your first order with code PickleJuice.
Pickle juice.
I go subscribe to my SoundCloud.
All right. Well, anyways, thank you. This was the Pickle Clique podcast. Hope you're having a great day. I'm gonna do more of this outro here and say, I don't even remember what he says exactly, but something about great. Have a great day, great morning, or good morning, good evening, good day.
I'll do my own outro.
You're not doing any outro. You're not a host. You're a guest.
I want to be. Oh.
Too bad. Anyways, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Are you gonna say bye?
Bye.
I got an extra bye.